I'm Dan Souza, and we are in the test kitchen. Today, I'm joined by Hannah Crowley, my co-host for the day. Hannah is executive editor of ATK Reviews. You are a journalist. You are co-creator and co-host of Gearheads on YouTube. You are one of the funniest and smartest people I know. And I'm going to brag about you a lot today. But welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're coming to us from Vermont today. That's where you make your home.
I'm here, buddy. I'm here with you. Yeah, okay. Yes, I live in Vermont.
You live in Vermont and you come down. And when you come down, you don't just come in and like work at your computer. You come in and do some of the most interesting stuff that happens in this building. I think the last time that I saw you, or at least saw you working on camera, you didn't have a cooking implement in your hand. You actually had a power tool. It was a Sawzall.
Oh, yes.
And you were taking it to a cooler. Can you talk to me a little bit about what you were doing?
You should have heard what it said to me.
The cooler?
No, we were sawing it in half, and it is fun and jazzy, but there's a real reason there because we're looking at the insulation inside. You know, we test all the big name brands, the Yetis that everyone wants to know about, and we get our results for our ice tests compared to the insulation, and we actually found some interesting stuff. You know, air's a good insulator. You want a lighter insulation inside versus a heavier one. So it's really fun to use a Sawzall. I call it like a baby electric saw because it's like, I can do it. It's really easy. You'd think like every time someone on our team, it's like, all right, like you're cutting up the coolers. It's sort of like a rite of passage. But it's really not bad at all. And y'all must have arranged this because you redid the floors right after we shot that a couple weeks ago, which is good because they had a nice dent from the first time when I learned how to use the Sawzall.
Wait, so what you're saying is really easy to use it, but you've destroyed the floors with it.
You have to break a couple eggs to make a cake, Dan.
Wait, so let's back this up a little bit. You said, and you talk about this like it's like totally normal because you do this stuff a lot, but you were saying you did ice tests and then you compared it to the insulation that you checked out. So walk me through that a little bit more.
Well, so if we're evaluating something like coolers, we want to think of all of the different ways someone would use them.
Yeah.
You'd use them with ice packs. You'd use them with ice. You'd use them full of drinks. You'd use them full of food. And so we try to recreate those within controlled environment. So like we packed like a standard picnic. Like I was just looking at it we're doing Gearheads on coolers for Memorial Day. And it literally is like 1 pint of strawberries, 3/4 of a cup of baby carrots, 2 ham sandwiches. Like it's scientific protocols, but it's about
That you're putting into, okay, yeah.
Packing the same exact thing into every single one. You know, we're sawing them in half to see what's inside. So we're looking at fit, we're looking at cold retention. When you're talking about a Yeti, we're talking about like 7 days. So
It takes that long because the coolers nowadays are so good.
they're so good.
To get your results, you have to wait like a week.
Oh yeah, like a Yeti will keep ice for 7 days. So we used to, as you know, have this really charming office with this gorgeous like spiral staircase, but it was really hard to get our work done. So our gorgeous new office, we really appreciate with tests like this because you can let 10 coolers sit out and conduct your ice test without being like, sorry, which, you know, we had to do when we had to share space a little more.
And then people can't just find the cooler and walk in and steal one of the ham sandwiches and then ruin like a week's worth of testing.
Oh, we label. Oh yeah, please don't touch. Active testing.
Beware.
Active testing. Oh yeah. I mean, sometimes you're leaving gorgeous sugar cookies on a tray. You know, it's smart to label it.
It's true. And so where Hannah leaves this stuff is in our reviews lab. So here in the test kitchen, we're sitting in kind of the set kitchen for America's Test Kitchen. We have the general kitchen. We have a couple other kitchens, 17,000 square feet of test kitchen space total. But part of that is this reviews lab. I think of it as like the one place of sort of peace in the test kitchen space. Not when you're using your Sawzalls and destroying coolers, but on a regular basis, it's like a little calmer in there. You guys are doing methodical testing and tasting of ingredients and stuff like that. But so that's where this is taking place, and you have all these coolers set up.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you saw them open, you did this test to see like, okay, the sandwiches lasted this long in these coolers, and then you saw them open, and you're looking inside at the insulation. What are you looking for?
Well, we were looking for density, right? Like we are going to trim an exact piece to exact measurements. Then well, first of all, it's surgery. Basically, it's surgery.
Yeah.
Extract the piece, then you trim it to exact measurements, and then you weigh it on a super, super expensive scale. In this lab, we have a wall, we have like the science shelves, this is where we shoot Gearheads, if you watch that, our show on YouTube.
I've seen it.
Have you heard of it, Dan? So this is where we're shooting that show. So behind us, you'll see like our lab supplies, our science supplies. We have like our $1,000 scale. We've got all kinds of fun stuff. And then we have our tasting tables where we taste at, and it's intentionally calmer. Like you don't have the clang and batter of the kitchen. It's more of a calm space so people can focus on their tastings. And then we also have like an electrical wall, which in our old place, this was our biggest thing. Like, we need an electrical wall. We would be short-circuiting things in the kitchen all the time.
Because you're plugging in 7 espresso machines at the same time.
Exactly. And so like we'd be like using 3 outlets or whatever. So we have a wall now that you can plug in like 20 appliances, and it's gonna be able to support the work we need to do.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And then so you combine the data from the density of that foam core, the time that it lasted, you find a correlation there, and that helps you sort of identify your winner.
Because we like to say why the winner won. It's not just the winner, it's why they won. And questing after that, I think is the most fun. Sometimes it comes together really easily. And sometimes it's kind of like, oh, whatever, more bland results. But when you have a story that you're like questing after it, and it really clicks into place. Like this cooler one, first of all, I'm not personally testing that. My team is testing that. So I don't want to say that I'm out there packing all of this up every single day. But I think that, you learn a ton. And with coolers, there was that really great little takeaway, like from sawing it, like, oh, there is a density difference, and that is going to help with the insulation. And that's why these brands that you are paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars,
so much money for now,
cost more.
Yeah.
Like, it's not marketing, although they are sure good at that. Yeti, for example, sure good at marketing, but they are delivering something there for the fishermen, for the fisher people.
Okay. Yep.
For the fish love these.
For people who catch fish. Yep.
Those. Thank you. For hunters, for campers. But like, do you need it to go to the beach? Probably not.
Yeah. There's maybe a measure of like, have we gone too far with coolers?
We try.
Like, are they too good?
Exactly. And we try to serve both of those people. We try to serve the one who wants 7 days of ice, and we also try to serve the person who wants to carry that cooler over the hot beach. And with a Yeti, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. So I should pause here and say that all the reviews that we talk about here are available on americastestkitchen.com and also in the ATK app, along with thousands of others that Hannah and her team have obsessively tested. So obviously you write all this up and we have these results online, but you also turned it into a really fun form with your show Gearheads, which you do with Lisa McManus. I think the two of you together is like the comedy duo like everyone wanted, but in this great space. Can you talk to me a little bit about like where that idea came from and what's the latest episode which we would check out?
Sure, we're actually filming next week. We're going to be doing something on coolers for Memorial Day.
Sawzalls?
We luckily got the footage already. There will be a Sawzall, but I don't have to Sawzall again next week, which I appreciate.
Well, let me know if you do. I want to see it.
We just got the new floors, another 10 years.
Yeah.
And we're actually doing a knife sharpening episode with Lon, which is super fun.
Amazing.
Yes. So Lon is gonna sharpen on a whetstone, and we're gonna show like honing rods, manual, electric, and then end with Lon on the whetstone.
Amazing. That's a great comparison.
Yeah. Lisa and I work together for 14 years, which is wild.
Yeah.
I feel like we mind meld, we share a brain. Like we have a conversation where we're like, yes, and we know what we're talking about. And the best thing I love about Lisa, I love a lot of things about Lisa, but she is so truly passionate and into this stuff. And I think her authenticity just comes through.
Oh, totally.
So clearly.
Well, but you said the same for you. Like the two of you together talking about this stuff, it's like clear the research that went into it, but it's fun and it's approachable. One of my favorite Lisa stories is around skillet testing, where she came up with this protocol, which is definitely grounded in probably like the literature is very smart, where she would take skillets outside, put them into an ice bath, like a true ice bath, get them super, super cold, take them out, and then bang them against a concrete wall. And just like in public.
In that abandoned building right there, the stairs of that are actually very sharp concrete that can really do a number on
that.
An aluminum pan.
And if they're like, and heating them up, cooling them down, and then doing that shock, if it ruins them, we basically beat them up in a way that like it would take you 25 years to beat up at home, so you can really test it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
We tried it, and I think not everyone durability tests. I think that's something that we can offer.
Yeah. And so speaking of you and Lisa and Gearheads, what's the latest episode? What one should folks be checking out?
I really like this cast iron episode we recently worked on. First of all, Lisa is like one of the preeminent cast iron experts in the country. I mean, the coverage that she's done is amazing. And it's funny, people are very afraid of cast iron still, and there are some very simple questions. There's 1 million things out about cast iron.
Yeah, so many myths.
So this was our attempt at one place to put all of our expertise, all of the wisdom, count down 10 or so beats of like, can you use soap on cast iron?
Yes, you can.
You
yes,
can,
you can.
You can.
Yes.
So that kind of stuff. And I think it really speaks to our expertise.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. All right, so the cast iron episode, got to check that out. Well, Hannah, I could talk about it all day, but we have a very special guest that you and I are both so excited to bring out. So in the test kitchen today, we have an incredible guest. She's a stand-up comedian, an actor. She's a New York Times best-selling author. You've heard her voice on amazing shows like Big Mouth and BoJack Horseman, and she starred on Worst Cooks in America, which is definitely something we're going to dig into. I'm talking about the one and only Maria Bamford.
Love our in-depth reviews? Get the latest from our reviews team delivered straight to your inbox. Our well-equipped cook newsletter provides top product picks, no-nonsense buying guides, and must-try recipes. No extra fluff, just the smartest ways to shop, save, and cook. Sign up for free now at americastestkitchen.com/newsletter.
Well, Maria, welcome to the Test Kitchen.
Thank you very much for having me.
We are so thrilled to have you here today. So we're sitting in the Test Kitchen. This is America's Test Kitchen right here in Boston. And I know you have a big show tonight.
Yes.
So we appreciate your time coming in beforehand so we can talk food, we can talk comedy, and so much and dig into it. This is Hannah, who is my co-host for the day here.
Hannah.
We're both such big fans. So before we dig into your amazing bio and all these wonderful things, I like to do this thing where I pour tea for my guests.
Oh.
Are you a tea drinker at all?
I will. I mean, I have already had a nitro cold brew, which means I'm in the 7th dimension. But I'll take some tea, yeah, for sure.
This might take you up to the 8th dimension or something, whether you want to go there or not. So I like to try to choose a tea based on my guest and what I know about them. So the one that I've chosen today is called Genmaicha. Have you had this one before?
Oh, God, no.
No, okay. So I'm going to pour it here. So it is a Japanese tea that is a green tea, so like a sencha, and it has these little bits of roasted rice in it. I'm going to pour a little bit into this glass here so we can take a look at the color here. And I'll pass this over to you.
Okay.
So the reason that I chose this tea is it's a kind of a base green tea, but then these little pops of roasted rice add like this warmth and intrigue, and they're just these like little sunny pops that I absolutely love. And that is how I view you. Whenever I see you pop up on a TV show, a voice in an animated movie or show, or in your stand-up specials, it's just like lights my day up. It brings such brightness. So this Genmaicha is for you.
Oh, Genmaicha. And I have a very shaky, I have a tremor.
So it's great that I
just
give you a tiny cup filled to the brim.
But that's the hilarious part of eating is when it drops on all your clothes.
And there it goes. Well, it's a good thing your shirt has a lot of colors in it. So even if you were to drop it.
That's the reason.
Brilliant.
You were planning ahead.
Oh my gosh. That's lovely.
Do you like it?
Yes. No, does that have a lot of caffeine in it?
So not too much. So because of the rice and the tea in there, it's not as much tea in each pot. So it's going to be a little bit lower. And green teas aren't that high anyway. So this probably won't get you to the 8th dimension, but we'll definitely give you a little bit more of a jolt there.
Okay. I hope I'm not yelling with how much caffeine I have in my system.
Hannah yells all the time, so don't worry
Okay,
about it.
fantastic.
Yeah. So I want to start in a place that is like both sort of makes sense why you're here, but also doesn't make sense why you're here. You were on a show called Worst Cooks in America.
Which seems cruel. Yes, I was on that Worst Cooks, and what I thought is that it would be a celebration of how non-intuitive people think that chemistry is. But instead, it was a rigid cooking school where they had us working our butts off 13 hours a day to actually, work professionally in a kitchen.
And that was not set up for you beforehand. They were like, it's fine. We're gonna celebrate that you're a worst cook. Not a big deal. But they really wanted to try to fix you.
Oh no! Yeah, you were gonna get good at it. And the thing is that a lot of the people who were people in the entertainment industry get into it for a reason, and that is they want to be good at things and get attention. So everyone was very hardworking on the show. Ian Ziering, of course, and who won? I don't think this is a spoiler. LaToya Jackson, just unbelievable. Just running
circles around everyone.
I actually threw a salad battle after the third day on set because I was just like, I got to get out of here. This is too much work for me. And I just put a chicken cutlet in a glass of water and said, salad. Yeah.
So you actually threw it. You were like, I need to get out of here. Because I was going to ask you, like, you went into it and you're sort of a self-professed, like, you don't love cooking, you don't like it,
Yeah.
but you made it to like to episode 4. Like you didn't
yeah.
go out right away.
I didn't go to right away because you get paid more the longer you stay.
I love hearing the info, like the background info like that.
Yeah. So and also I did want to learn, but it was pretty exhausting. And I have medications I'm on, and it's also a non-union gig, so they can say whatever they want for a turnaround. So you get off set, and they say, "Oh, you got to come back in 6 hours to start shooting again." And
And you were like, that's not going to work for me.
baby needs 12 hours, and otherwise, baby get weird.
Weird in not a good way.
Not in a good way.
Not in a good way. I'm right there with you. I'm like I would love 12 hours. I'm a big sleeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you learn anything on the show? Were you like that, oh, now I have this extra skill?
The
and you get to-
main thing is mise en place.
Yes.
Is if you keep everything clean, somehow that's going to make things turn out tasting better. I thought that was very interesting. I thought that was also slightly judgmental. You know,
in
like,
what way?
well, it feels like people who are already neat made up that rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just like, well, it kind of tastes better when I do it this way. I don't know. It seemed, I wasn't sure if I believed it. And then what else did I learn?
Well, I feel bad. We've been like sort of like propagating and like continuing that lesson over and over here. We're definitely big mise en place.
Mise en
people.
place.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about that.
No,
Cook that way at home, for real.
A mix. I do a mix of it. I
well,
do a half mise en place.
and I have, the tremoring hands thing.
Yeah.
So my husband will be like, "Oh my God, what's going on in there? Why'd you load the refrigerator like it's a prank show? Because I can barely get it in the refrigerator. Everything's it's like 14 kittens put on top of each other.
That sounds actually adorable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. So I think I learned that. Also, it's extremely hard work.
Yeah.
You have to be very mindful and tasting everything all the time. That was the other thing I learned, is tasting everything. Because I thought, which is something I've thought over and over again, that you're supposed to know within yourself how to do things automatically without asking directions.
Yeah.
Like
Which
you're-
is a little dangerous of a setup, right? You're like,
yeah.
you have to pretend as if.
Yeah, like, oh, I should know how to balance a checkbook from my heart.
Yeah. But that's not fair. They shouldn't know and then not tell you and then
Right.
ask you to know that.
Yeah, because it feels like a quiz. Every year I get so scared about finances. Finances are a big thing, but so is food. Food is very emotional.
It
Like
is.
I waited tables, and I did it for 5 years, and I would have nightmares, just the look on people's faces when they are just telling you their order.
Yeah.
I would love to have a ramekin, a fresh raspberries, and I need to be gluten-free. Can I talk to the chef? Like, oh my Christ. Like this, we're getting into your childhood. It's very, especially Los Angeles. I stopped waitressing when I went to Los Angeles because it was just so terrifying, people's level of expectation.
It's so true. I mean, I think everyone should work in food service, wait tables, get that experience. And the people who have are the best tippers, regardless of how much money they make. They're the best.
yeah.
They're the best tippers out
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
it
it's
is
so
an
important.
extremely hard job, and it is like a therapy job.
Yeah.
Where people
Yes.
come in irritable
Yep.
and freaked out, and then they go like, I don't know what I was so mad about. Anyways, oh, I love you.
Well, it's like for most people, like when they're angry, like they're 90% of the time they're just hangry. Like they're just like, oops.
Yeah.
We like learn about ourselves over time. And as a kid, you're like, why am I angry all the time? And then you're older and you're like, it's because I just skipped breakfast again, or I need a glass
or I
of
didn't
water.
sleep.
They
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a weird eating disorder, or
Yeah.
like I was bulimic for many years as a
Yeah.
younger person. What? A white woman is bulimic? How did? Anyways, but I was yeah. So people are having all sorts of stuff going on with them, and I've not been for 30 years. I'm in any number of 12-step programs, but yeah, it's which are also bizarre.
You love a
But
12-step program.
They're free. They're free for Christ's sake.
So what's really interesting, though, is I feel like you maybe sort of wanted to avoid food in some ways, but you found yourself in it in ways you're talking about here, but also through like a lot of animated shows. Like you were a churro, I believe, in Rick and Morty. Maybe
Yes,
a
yes,
small
yes.
little bit there.
I've been Hot Dog Princess.
You had a young princess.
Hot Dog Princess. Yeah, no, I do adore food, but I am not a foodie in
Yeah.
that I love 7-Eleven food.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it's free, thank you very much. I will. Comedy club food,
The best.
stop it. I mean, did someone just learn to use the fryer? Because this is half frozen. What?
You get that nice
That
temperature
guy.
contrast. Yeah.
This is
cool
definitely no. Well, and to know that it's all about money laundering, that has nothing to do with food and beverage.
So you mentioned when your scattered fridge looked like 14 kittens stacked on
yeah,
one another. But I thought maybe you would have said pugs. I feel like pugs are your animal.
Do you love pugs?
And I'm curious, like, why? Why did you get into
Because
pugs?
again, the personality. I don't want to have to guess what my pet thinks about me. I don't want to be like trying to fight for their affection.
Right.
Pugs are in. They are down to love you, and they're like, when can I lean on you?
Yeah.
And
You always know where they are, I guess.
always
Oh,
know where
yeah.
they are.
Yeah.
And they're about as active as I am. I don't want a dog that wants to get up and do stuff all the time.
No, who would want
interested.
that? Yeah. But you're out in LA, so getting outside with the dog isn't so bad.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Although we lost use of our house in the fires, where we've had to move about 3 times in the past couple months. So now we're in a rental, but our house, all the houses in our neighborhood were lost.
Oh my
but
God.
our neighbors, they saved our house with garden hoses and super soakers. And
Wow.
yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's so rough that you're
Yeah.
at least it's saved, but you're still not in
yeah,
your
we
home.
won't be in there for another year, but that's okay. Guess what that means? Takeout.
More takeout.
More takeout.
What's your go-to takeout order?
Oh my Lord. I just I love it. Any food, whatever is available. So whatever my husband wants to get, I'll get. I love a salad. I love a kale sal. Because that's something I would never take the time to make myself. Massaging each leaf with avocado.
Yeah.
Like that's
You got to take care of it before you get to eat it. Yeah.
Or just get some rage out.
you're right. Oh yeah.
Is that what you do? You're a rage kale salad maker?
I'm so placid and calm all the time.
Yeah, what are your favorite things to make? I always think
Yeah.
is that it doesn't seem like it would be fun.
To make things.
Yeah, because I get so scared that I'm screwing it up. Like as I'm chopping something, I go, it's not like a matchstick. I just feel like this shame overcoming me the whole time. And what I do is I sabotage recipes. What I do is I go, and my dad would do this. He would go halfway through a sourdough loaf of bread, and then he'd go, what if I added frozen blueberries?
While he's making it? Uh-huh. Oh, wow.
And that's the kind of, where I go, this was going so well. Should I add beans? Like, it's
That's the name of your new cookbook. Should I add beans? And
No.
It's just you halfway through every recipe, just like, now's the time.
my cooking show is after every cooking show, which is our cooking show. My husband and I joke is, I'd eat that. Don't throw that out. I'd take a crack at it.
What's your mold tolerance? Are you scraping it off?
Oh yeah.
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 Are you scraping it off?
Yeah, totally.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it depends on the mold.
He's all food safe. He's a real chef. They're very strict.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's because that's your profession. For me, I have in the past 2 weeks, I dropped a power bar on the LA Metro and picked it back up. and ate it.
And you ate it. So for me, it's about like this is gonna get really nerdy. I'm sort of a very nerdy person, but like it's about the water content of the food and whether I will pick it back up and eat it. So a power bar is like, it's a pretty dry thing, right?
What? No.
No, this is a wet one?
Well, it was kind of like artisanal. So it was from my neighborhood. Like someone made it in their garage
So it brought
kitchen.
debris
wow.
back up
Okay.
with it.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm certain. But I was so hungry, and I said to myself, come on, Maria, you can take it. And I can. Turns out, look at me.
You look great. You're
Alive
here
and well.
today. Yeah. I will say it was like about the most California thing anyone could ever say, that the power bar that you had was just from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Someone was making it, like selling it out of the garage.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, people are doing that. I had a friend who he sells they're like all cheese croutons that he makes out of his home kitchen. And he sells them at farmers markets, and I think he makes a partial living from that.
That sounds
in
really
LA.
good. So it's just cheese, but it eats like
It's
a
just
crouton?
cheese, yeah.
Does it vibe with some diet? Like, is that keto? Is everyone in LA on keto?
Everyone's mad in LA that their dreams aren't coming true, and so they're having it come out in what they need to eat.
So that's why it changes constantly.
Yeah. They're always a little disappointed because a bunch of other stuff didn't happen too, and that's including myself too. I mean, now that I've lived in LA for 30 years, like, you know what good food is.
Oh, there's
you have
so
a
much good food out
delicious
there.
taco. So
Yeah.
you're like, I've eaten at many a Chili's, and I enjoy it for what it is. But I also know that there's something better if I'm in Los Angeles. So I'd rather not eat at a Chili's.
You've stepped out of the cave. You know it. It's hard to go back in.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah.
I will say a Hooters, which I'm not sure if that is around anymore, but
Yeah, they're still around. Hannah
Oh,
told
why
me.
do you know? Yeah. You answered that real quick. Do you hear that?
chicken Caesar salad, so good.
So good.
So good.
Love a Caesar salad.
Disturbing the presentation of it because it's a young lady that you're worried about, but it's very good.
They do a great
very
Caesar.
good.
I've heard they do great wings, to be honest.
Yeah, you've heard tell.
Love what you're watching? Take your cooking to the next level with our Essential membership. Get instant access to thousands of recipes, tips, techniques, product reviews, and step-by-step videos. Our members app allows you to search by ingredient, set dietary preferences, and save your favorite recipes. For those looking to level up, our newest feature, ATK Classes, offers more in-depth instruction led by ATK experts, so you can gain greater confidence in the kitchen. Start your free trial by visiting the App Store or going to americastestkitchen.com/YouTube today.
Well, all right. So we have an instant classic new segment that I want to do on the show.
great.
So it's based on the Rorschach test, but it's the Rorsnack test. So I'm hoping to.
Get it? Yes. Took it in.
The lamest joke I've ever said.
No,
and
it's
I said to Maria
That's
Bamford.
a great,
It's the it's
Definitely said
great
words.
joke.
Thanks, Hannah. So it's the Rorsnack test, and it's some questions that I like fuss over a lot and think about a lot in the food world around snacks and things that you eat, and I think you can learn a little bit about something through them. So my first one is, how do you eat your corn on the cob?
Okay, number one, I don't waste calories on corn on the cob.
Oh wow, okay.
Okay,
Did
it's
not
not
expect
it's not a raw snack.
It's not a
For
Rorsnack.
me, if I'm going to say my real snack, which is chilled scoop of peanut butter. So it comes from inside the fridge, has to be cold.
You keep your peanut butter in the fridge. Okay,
and
yep.
I can do a fork, but I'd rather it be a giant spoonful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I eat the drips around it. Shaky hand, shaky hand. So I'm going to make a mess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shaky hand, shaky hand.
Must be natural peanut butter.
Yeah. Yes, but I love a Jif. I love a super crunch Jif. Now, also Diet Coke, pop that. So that's already chilled. That's sweet, savory.
Sweet, savory, rich, and like acidic, refreshing too. It's like it's all balanced. Yeah.
It's balanced.
Chef approved. Beautiful pairing. Chef
Yes, it is.
approved.
So I think I've said that I think there's nothing more American than taking an implement into a jar of peanut butter and eating it straight out of there. It is
Yeah.
like the most American thing that you can do. Like here at America's Test Kitchen, we've got 17,000 square feet of test kitchen space, so much food. And in our little kitchen over by where everyone's desks are, there's always a jar of peanut butter. And you look inside and there are like fork tine marks in there. And we all go back to that. You
Communal
know?
Peeber jar.
You gotta Instagram that so people feel good about themselves.
should,
Put
you're
that
right.
out there.
You're right.
Like, it's at America's Test Kitchen that people are just gross. That's got to be put out there.
We use clean spoons every time.
Do you? You don't know that. You don't know that.
We don't know that now that you're saying it. Well, no.
Yeah, we haven't really.
I think that is
We gotta set up a
a
camera.
hope. That's very hopeful to really share
Yeah.
that intimate portrait.
I agree. We're gonna have to do that. Okay, so my next one. All right, so the corn is out, but the peanut butter is in. I think that's really interesting.
I just don't want to lie.
No, I don't
about
want
my
you to lie at
corn
all.
intake.
Go for bed.
So I'm also really fascinated in banana ripeness preference. So I think like if you think about like apples and peaches, most people agree like this is the perfect ripeness. You know, they should be like this. With bananas, it's like all over the map. So for you, are you from the scale of like green to like black almost? Like where do you fall on your banana
I think
preference?
real mid yellow. But
Mm.
again, I want to talk about a passionate issue that I'm just going to bulldozer over
Please,
this
use
topic.
that question as a way to go.
Can someone find me a savory muffin? And what I've tried to do, I've had it once or twice in Australia, Perth, Australia. They had a muffin with squash, little bits of cheese, onion, broccoli. Okay, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've tried to create it at home. Okay, hasn't been as good or delicious,
Yeah.
but I think that's possible. Instead of a blueberry muffin, you have a vegetarian muffin.
I'm 100% by it.
Veggie.
Yeah.
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 I did it a bunch of times. I tried to do it on Worst Cooks.
Cooks.
I did a veggie pot cake, which I've tried several times with just as a improvisation.
Yeah. That's the place to do it on
right,
a TV show like
right.
that.
Yeah, with baking, right?
Try it out. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't bake it. I fried it in a pot.
Oh, nice.
But that was just a good visual.
So did you see that in multiple places in Perth, or this was like one specific spot was doing this savory muffin?
Perth and Australia in general, I think, had a couple of savory muffins at different spots I went to, and I was like, why is this not going on worldwide?
I would love that.
Shout out to Australia.
Right?
I think we got to try that. Yeah.
Okay, so-
Yeah. All right, we're gonna do that. Okay.
Get America's Test Kitchen on it, Dan.
Yeah. So that's yeah, exactly. So that's your banana preference. All right. My last one in the Rorsnack test is if you go into a restaurant and they say that they have ketchup that they've made themselves, how do you feel?
I feel excited for them. But then I feel a little worried. And I go, oh, I'm just grateful for whatever comes to the table. I'm very grateful, but I am, of course, a little worried. But I don't voice that concern.
Sure. Of course.
I don't say, but do you have the regular kind? I don't say that out loud. I say, I love you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your small business
love
that has a razor thin profit margin.
I think that's really beautiful. Yeah. And you're happy for them.
Yes.
I think that's how we should all approach it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Maria, this has been an absolute pleasure to have you here.
And I was an hour late, so it's incredible that these people are very kind to me.
We would literally wait. Hannah and I would just sit here for like 24 hours and just wait for you to come. Yes,
Worth
we would.
every moment of
Yes.
anticipation.
Such a big fan of all of your work. I am so glad that you're doing stand-up and touring and here in
you very
Boston.
much. Thank you.
And you said that all those tour dates are up on your website, which
Yes,
is
and I go all over. It's mariabamford.com.
great.
It's very easy to find, and yeah, that's all.
Maria, thank you so much for joining us today. We have an assignment, which is to go work on that Perth-style savory muffin.
Yes.
We're going to work on it here in the Test Kitchen, and we're going to reach back out and have you come back and try it. Seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. I mean, I don't want to create work for you. You've already
This is what
worked
we
so
do.
hard.
This
Okay.
is exactly what we do here.
We need
Yeah.
ideas.
We
It's a
need
brilliant
ideas.
idea.
Okay. Just Google Perth plus savory muffins. I had a couple
All right,
in
we'll
that
check them
zip
out.
code.
Can I go to Australia to research?
Well, that's all the time we have. Thank you, Maria. Really appreciate it. We'll see you next time on In the Test Kitchen.
If you're ready to take your cooking to the next level, head over to americastestkitchen.com and get a free trial of our ATK Essential membership. While you're there, you can sign up for our free email newsletters and download our app. So, what are you waiting for?